Ah, okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I made it. I did it. We've done it.
Yeah, we
Thank you all
did.
so much for your patience. I have this lovely, 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 doubly lovely couple on with me today. Crutchfield Jones. You know what's really beautiful about the both of you? I mean, not just your story in terms of how you've got together, but just the essence of who you are. You can just feel that essence exuding from
Ah,
you.
Thank you
thank
so
And
much.
you.
I don't just chat for the sake of chatting.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank God.
Oh, bless you. But thank you so much for your patience and thank you for joining me on the sofa with Esther. Um, it's a real privilege and a real pleasure. And I love your latest single. Love it, love it, love it.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Um, so let's just get an insight into Crutchfield Jones. I usually ask my guests, who is Crutchfield Jones in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell?
Well, I'm Shireen Crutchfield, so that's where you get the Crutchfield, and that's Ricky Jones. And we have known each other for, ooh, God, since our Motown days. We were both
Yeah.
singers, lead singers of groups on Motown. I was in the Good Girls, he was in Yours
Yours
Truly.
truly.
And
Yours truly,
many, many,
yes.
many, many, many years later, we got back together and we just fell in love. And now we're making
You
music.
think?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Oh, nice. And you know what? Because, oftentimes when people are together, they're together, but you can't see or feel it. What's kept you together? Or what's kept you growing together?
God.
Because he's crazy.
Is she crazy
He's
too?
crazy.
She
And I'm gonna
raised.
tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
tell
what
you.
the song really came from, you know. And
Yes.
but we both like to we both do work hard
Yeah.
and we both do love the music
Mm-hmm.
and not chasing the money but chasing the art of it, you know. And I think that's what sustained us as well, you know.
Yeah.
We love it. Like I don't shut off day in and day out. I do not shut off. I know I don't too. I know it. I know I don't.
But that's the beauty when you're passionate about something. The money is a lovely. It's almost like you got the cake, and then you got the
Yeah,
sprinkles, and then you got the cherry on the top. But when you're passionate about something, that's what drives you. Even when stuff goes down around you,
right,
that's what drives you
right.
and drives you through. But obviously, in between that, you've got to look after your well-being. And I very much believe, and what I'm sensing from the both of you, though, that when God's given you a gift as well, you've got to share that. You've got to utilize
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You know, it's like having a closed fist, an open fist. You can't receive unless you can't.
Give.
You know what I mean? You have to continue to do that. And like in the middle of the night, day, whenever, when God give you an idea, it's like a baby being born. You have
Mm,
to literally be obedient and get up and do that, get that song, even if it's for one person. You know, you have to
absolutely.
do that. Like Crazy Ass came from whatever. I look,
Uh-huh.
that's
Here
the
we
that's
go, Esther.
I
Here
ate a
we
piece of
go,
her chicken, right?
Esther.
No, no.
Hmm.
So we were in the studio, so I ate a piece of her chicken, but we went to a place called Lolo's, and it's like Roscoe's out in California, but it's in Phoenix. So I
Uh-huh.
the fried chicken, ooh Lord, it's so good. So it was in the refrigerator in the studio, and then she said, um, I was sitting on the stairs at the studio, and I was listening to this track, with 8 bars, and she said, "Did you eat my chicken?" I said, "Oh, yeah."
You lied. He tried to lie. He tried to tell people there wasn't a name on it.
It wasn't a name.
Esther, we were the only two people who went to the restaurant.
Okay, okay.
He
Okay.
had an entire container of shrimp and grits in the refrigerator. But did he eat that? Did he eat that? Did he eat what he
That was
ordered?
good
No.
too.
He
No,
ate
because
what
I
I
had what I
ordered.
had. And I lived when I heard that I was hitting the 8 bars, and I said, girl, you crazy. You mad about that? I said, I still love your crazy ass. And I'm like,
Oh,
that's what it came from, you know. And she looked at me like, and I said, hey, that's it. That's the song. So, that's how that came about, you know. But it's the truth, you know. How many people in a relationship, even at a job, you can love your job, but if you can love it and say, for instance, you're getting paid, but you do love it, but sometimes you like get mad at it.
yes.
Anything, a cat, dog, but it was basically about us, period. And and I say, you're crazy. I can't believe you mad over a piece of chicken. but that chicken was that good though.
Oh, wow. And
Yeah.
you mentioned grits as well. I was in
Mm.
the States about 3 years ago and I discovered grits.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, and with the salt and pepper, because I don't like a lot, but this person
Yeah.
he cooked me this. He had shrimps with it, then a little salt and butter, and then cornbread with it. I was just like, where have
Woo!
I been?
Soul food. Yes.
Ain't nothing like no
Soul
good
food.
food.
That's
Look, if you go on a trip and you have bad food, I don't care if you was in Italy. If that food's bad, my trip is not good.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. Yep. So good afternoon, ladies and gents. So there's a few people who are sending through messages. So J Ross, that boss, thank you so much for this connection.
Thank you. Jay.
And Richardson Steele, Oscar Watlington, and Ron Ledford. Thank you all for
Thank you.
coming on. And there's a message from Richardson that said you are both amazing and the chemistry works well for
Thank
your
you.
talents as
Thank
well.
you, Richard Steele.
So thank you for
I like
that.
that name too.
Richardson still.
Yes.
And so, so going back a bit, I mean, you've both come from quite eclectic, I love that word, eclectic careers. You were a model, you've been acting, and Ricky, you've been in the music industry and you've met some incredible people. You've worked with some incredible people as well. Can you both individually share couple of people who've made an impact on you? I mean, we all make impacts on each other, but sometimes there's those people that just stand out. So can you share who they've been?
No, you go first.
I would say, oh my God, my first experience was with Stevie Wonder. Just seeing him bob his head at we had a album release for Yours Truly on Motown. I literally came out here on a vacation, but just seeing that, and then working with Lionel Richie, Aaron Neville, James Ingram. I remember writing with Lionel Richie, and he said, "Don't worry about yourself. Be true to yourself, and everything else will always work out, no matter what."
Absolutely.
And you can't please everybody, but if you're pleasing yourself, God made a lot of souls that connect to you on this earth that would be happy with what you do. And I stayed true to that. I do believe. My first time meeting James Ingram, Keith Andes and I actually, he and I co-produced this song, our first single. I went to James Ingram's house, and that time I was struggling, and James, just out the blue, gave me his credit card and said, "Go get some groceries and fill your tank up with gas."
Wow.
And he said, I said, "How you know?" He said, "Boy, I've been doing this for years. Just go get it and don't ask me no questions." And we actually became brothers and been writing, and God bless his soul because he passed. But so many people, like Jonathan Clark, who introduced you and I. Right?
I would say Jonathan Clark for me because he was the one that actually had the vision for the group that I was in, the Good Girls.
And
Girls.
Truly.
And Yours Truly.
He had the vision for both of our groups. And if it wasn't for him, we would never have met. And then he was the one that actually was like, "You guys need to get together and do Crutchfield Jones."
I was not even thinking about it. We were together, but we were on the phone with him because he gives us a lot of good ideas and instruction too, and we so he said y'all should do that, and then we just jumped on it, and he said should be Crutchfield Jones, and here we are, but you're right. You're right.
And just reading your bio in terms of how you've come around, because you were initially married to different people, and then you came around
on the same day.
On the same,
we got married to different people on the same day.
Yeah,
but was it intentional? You didn't know about?
I didn't.
We were out of contact.
We were out of contact. I didn't even out of contact, and then and one day out 20 years later, I get a call because I just got off the phone with Jonathan Clark. And then she called Jonathan and say, I want to start writing again and blah, blah. Anybody writing? Jonathan said, "Ricky's never started. I just got the phone with him. I'll give you his number." And she called me. I said, "Shireen." And I remember Esther, I remember picking her up. It was going to work out. And she called me and I said, and till that day, we've been together every day. But when she walked out of the house, I said, "I'm not going to let her get away this time."
Wow, this is so romantic. I should have had you on Valentine's Day as well. Let me grab my tissues. Hold on one moment, people.
Yeah, but thank God.
And your crazy ass has literally just come hot off the press. Literally, what's been the take up for it? What's been people's take on it so far?
I think they like it. We just put a video out too. So go to Crutchfield Jones YouTube and check out the video.
That. I'm gonna play that as well. I'm gonna play that.
Yeah, we got a good response so far. So I'm excited about it.
Brilliant. Yeah. And in terms of where you're going next, because also what I'm going to do, I'd like to play your Christmas track as well. I know we're not there yet, but the sentiments are so important for a lot of people at this moment in time, of that togetherness, of family, because there's so much going on in the world, as you know. Yeah. And, you know, I literally took my dog out 5 minutes before the beginning of the show because he's like a kid. If he doesn't run, then he's going to be trying to jump on me, and I'm going to want to just kick his ass out, literally, right?
His crazy ass.
And then I met somebody by the gate, and he's got about 4 funerals to go to, and then even in my own space yesterday, something's happened. So when I thought I want to play 2 of your tracks, what would they be? And your Christmas song just symbolizes that togetherness, and the sentiments of that are still, for me, very relevant at this time. So I'm going to play that as well. So ladies and gents, I have got on the show with me Crutchfield Jones, aka Shireen and Ricky, and it's a real pleasure. And we are now going to have another take of their latest track, Crazy Ass.
You go.
Sometimes I wanna hold you,
and sometimes I just don't know.
Sometimes I really miss you.
Sometimes I wish you'd walk away.
Sometimes I wanna kiss you, and sometimes I want you to stay.
Tell me, baby, what I gotta do to please you. Maybe anything you say I'll do. There ain't nothing I won't do to keep you, 'cause it's all about me and you.
Love you, then it makes you sad. We have a breakthrough, and our passion is worth the fight.
Tell me, baby, what I gotta do to please you. Baby, anything you say I'll do. There ain't nothing I won't do to keep you. From the bottom of my heart, it's true. I love you when you make me sad. Even when you make me cry.
But I get a little angry. Said I love you crazy.
about because you just got that vibe going about, and we've got Parks Stewart waiting in the wings to come on. I'll be with you just a moment, Parks. So don't go anywhere. That's my other guest for this evening. Love it, love it, love it. And this I love that playfulness in between the music and the crazy ass and the loving and all those things really make a great track. Love
We
it.
have fun. We have fun.
And you can see that, and it's really interesting because when you mention some of the artists that you've worked with, and I'm sort of looking, I'm like, you ain't got no grey line. How did you work with these people? Because I can't see no wrinkles, no grey. As I say, you still look incredibly well. And as being in the industry, because Shireen, you've been a model and an actress and all those wonderful things. What is it that's kept you grounded in such an industry?
Well, I think God. I keep God first, and just my family and friends. I'm around people, really nice people with good hearts, and I think that that's most important. That's why I fell in love with him, because he has a really good heart.
Yes.
And my family and my friends. That's who I surround myself with. Real people who are
that locate you. I call it the locators.
Yeah.
They don't care what you do. They call you out.
Yes, and that's important. And it's really interesting because having people that can call you out and you can receive it, but that it's coming from a place of love, that's what keeps you grounded. Like you, I always say to people, I don't want yes people in my circle,
right?
Because I'm a strong Sagittarian as well. I'm a strong Sagittarian, and sometimes you're just going to be saying, Esther, no. I'm like, I'm going to do it, but because then it keeps
checks and balances. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's important for our own personal growth.
Yeah.
On many levels. And Whittington still says that's extremely important.
Yeah.
Jay Ross, that boss, they are real ones. Love them. Yes. And what I'm going to do also, I'm going to bring on Park Stewart, if you don't mind as well, because the way he operates, the way you operate and the way he operates is very much about coming from that platform of honesty, integrity, that spiritual authenticity, and then what that brings into your music as well, not just yourselves. So I'm just going to bring him on as well to join the party. Parks,
how are you?
Hello, good day to you. Thank you and welcome. Ladies and gents, I just want to introduce who I have on my show today. I've got Crutchfield Jones, Shireen and Ricky, and now Parks Stewart. A real privilege to have you both on, and thank you for your patience because the gremlins were trying to get me on the other system. So I had to go to the next one. So I'm just going to ask you a question, Parks, as well, like I've asked Shireen and Ricky. Who is Parks in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell?
Wow. I guess I'm of course, they say singer, songwriter, producer, all that, but I can sum it up and say I'm just a man of God who's trying to be better and help other people be better and introduce them to God who can make them better. And
nice.
that will be what I'm about. I think everything starts with me with love from him to us and us for one to another. And that's my plight in life. To bring the spirit of love and see if we can create some unity and bond together, whether it be father and son, family, relationship, wife and husband. That's why I'm enjoying seeing your guests on today.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the video. I like the chemistry they had. It was really
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I like it because it was authentic.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that's why I hope you don't mind that I brought Parks on. I hope you mind Parks that I brought you on, because I just felt that energy of, there was a message or that thread of authenticity, there was that thread of unity. And I believe that when you are it, when you live it, when you become it, you can do this and people feel that, because a lot of people do that, but their soul ain't there.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
judgment. And that's why, especially I would say in 2022, as we come through this incredible time, it's important for us to step into those authentic places, because then we can reach out to others along us and support them on their way.
Right.
Because there's a
Right.
strength in that authenticity, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I love this Black unity too,
Yeah.
I just
So, is it this or is it this? Which one?
all of it.
Okay, and Parks, I was just talking to Shireen and Ricky of their latest single, Crazy Ass, and it is all about those wonderful things. But you've also got a new single out, also called Clear Your Mind. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Clear Your Mind was something that I was just in the studio, and I had been talking to my manager, Ed Armstead, and we was just talking about the pandemic and being shut in and just the change that it's brought about in the world. And we were just talking. I said, man, I think sometimes we need to hit the reset button.
Right on.
So we can refocus and go back to when things are clear, because we're very creative people. Crisis usually brings out some form of creativity in us. And we end up touching people and inspiring them through that creativity that comes from crisis. That's why I think it's God-given. And so I just said, man, I think we need to hit the reset button. Let's refocus. And I was in the studio with a friend of mine named Teron Terrell, who was the MD for the Four Tops. And he was sitting down, he's playing something. He said, what you want to call it? And I don't know why I said it. I just said, Clear Your Mind.
I gave it to you, brother.
And I said, Clear Your Mind, and went right into the studio and right into the booth and just started there. And in about an hour or so, we had Clear Your Mind.
Amen.
Wow. And I'm going to play that in a minute. But you said something important that I'd like to ask all of you. In terms of the pandemic, I mean, as artists, you are creating stuff for other people. You're creating stuff that speaks into the lives of others, that's holding other people up. So how have you experienced the pandemic yourself? What has held you up? I mean, obviously your faith, I can really sense that your faith is very strong, but outside of that, what else has held you up and held you strong? And I know with you two, it's clearly your love, because you can just see that. But,
I really, it really struck a chord with me when he said reset, because I think that's what happened to me personally. I think actually globally, everybody, it gave us time to reset and really refocus on what's actually important. And the most important thing on the planet are your relationships with other people. So it was a really traumatic time for a lot of people, but a blessing in a sense that I did get to reset and refocus on what's important. So
yeah, I agree. I think that, when you hit that reset button, like the pandemic, it causes you to spend more time, become more intimate. And I think there's the key to relationship is intimacy.
Yeah.
You can be around a person and you could be busy and you're here and there. But when you have those quiet moments and the intimacy, the communication, and just the things we've taken for granted for so long, it causes you to sit back and say, man, where am I? Where am I really? With everything, my family, my wife. I love spending time with my wife. We do everything together. And so her being able to work from home and things like that, it was a pleasure for me. So
smile, that smile.
It was more bonding time for me. So I really enjoyed it. But I also had my mom, I take care of my mom. I had to check on her, do these things. And, just being able to make sure that everybody's okay, bringing back, I'm from Detroit, Motor City, and I was born up in a rough neighborhood, but the neighborhood kind of looked out for each other.
Right on.
It was a close-knit neighborhood, and so those times came back because you got to check on everybody, you got to stay in touch, call, see where they are. And sometimes you get so busy, man, you say, man, I got to check on somebody, I got to call them, and you don't get around to it. I think the pandemic brought us back to the place where we don't take those things no longer for granted. and look at the things that are of value, which is relationships.
Right, for sure. I think even the like the intimacy in people, your brothers, like, you know, like we want to shake hands and hug people, and I think that it made everybody miss that, even people that didn't do it as often. Like, man, I miss that human touch, you know, things. I just think that you're right, Park, about the reset. That's a beautiful way of putting it. Even your song, beautiful song, by the way. I just think that I was at Costco, and I saw people helping people out. I hadn't seen that. You know, I'm seeing people like literally like, brother, I got you. You know, sister, I got you, looking out for each other. You know, because it made everybody on the same level. I'll say that everybody had to think the same way, the same level, and you started like really appreciating life more than you ever could. I know I do now. I really do. It's a beautiful day every day, if it's gloomy or not. You know, I really.
Oh
do.
man,
yeah.
So that's a good point, brother. Because you're right. It brought back a sense of urgency.
Yes.
And you know, like you say, every day is a good day now.
Yes.
All those things we take for granted, man. You don't take it for granted no more.
It does say every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess. But I'm like, we, you know, you start like we all, because you know we all one church, not religion. We're all one church, and it makes everybody. It brought back a lot of unity in so many aspects, so many different dynamics. It did. Yeah.
No doubt.
And this is a great conversation, but I'm going to go play that track down. And I've just welcomed into the room Edward. Edward looks after parks, or he manages parks, whatever, you know, however you want to call it. So good day, Edward.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing?
Good.
We're good. How's everybody doing? I love that. Where are you from?
I'm born and raised in Detroit, but I reside in a suburb outside of Michigan.
Okay. I was in Detroit beginning of 2020.
I mean, outside of Detroit. I'm sorry. I said outside of Michigan. I'm in Michigan.
Okay.
A suburb outside of Detroit. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, thank you for introducing me to Park. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over and play his latest track, Clear Your Mind. And ladies and gents, just to remind you, you are listening to On the Sofa with myself, truly Esther Austin. I've got the delightful couple, Crutchfield Jones. I'm sure. What's your name again? Sorry, senior moment. Shireen and Ricky, and then I've got Park, Stewart, and also Edward on the show with me today. It's a real pleasure, and thank you, like I said before, for your patience. Live long and prosper, as they say. Okay, so now we're going to go over to Clear Your Mind.
Man, Parks said he wanted to run over this new song, and it's getting late. Where is he at? Where is he?
Oh, man. Let me call him.
All right, do that.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Where y'all at, man?
We on our way up now. Just chill. We can be up there in a minute. All right. You clear?
I'm clear.
In the building.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah. You let me clear your mind. No need to worry. Let me clear your mind. Don't let your circumstance get you down. Winds of life are blowing. I wrap my arms around you. Never remind you, in case you forgot. I'm the one who speaks to the winds. They obey me, they gotta stop. Peace like a river. Oh, just know that I'll be there. I'll be there. Yes, I said it, I meant it. You're not alone. I said I never leave you and I never will. Count on me and let your mind be clear. I will. Oh, clear your mind.
distractions, overreactions. There's a comfort in knowing I got my eyes on you. So just focus on me. Trust and believe I got everything you need. Oh, peace like a river. Whoa, whoa, just know that I'll be there. Oh, you're not alone. No, no, no. Said I never leave you and I never will. Focus on me. Keep your mind clear. Stay on me.
Hi. Hi, I'm Valerie Holiday of the 3 Degrees. Let's get it on. It's time to get down. You're listening to On the Sofa with Esther.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
You know you make me wanna shout, kick my heels up and throw my head back and come on down, come on down. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah, 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 yeah. Hi, I'm Lloyd Williams, and on behalf of the music from Alamo House, I'd like to take this moment and congratulate my friend Esther Austin on the sofa with Esther. Hey, 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 ha, hey.
Yeah, I love that one with Lloyd G. Williams. He's just got such a voice that goes bam.
Yeah.
So thanking him for that. Right, let me bring Edward back on. Okay, brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther, and I've got in the studio with me Crutchfield Jones and Park Stewart, along with Edward Armstead. Edward Armstead, the third. I can't forget the third, can I? And, you know, I'm going to go to Crutchfield Jones now. So where to this year? You know, you've started off the year with this incredible track. So what can we expect from Crutchfield Jones in 2022?
Well, we're gonna be going on the road. We were supposed to be in Monaco on the 29th of December, but things closed down, and we actually, some of the band members got sick. So we're just looking, to express ourselves on stage, and
A lot of touring.
That we're setting up.
Put an album out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you got an album out, or you got one coming out?
It's coming.
It's coming.
Woo! I know you just slip that in,
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the album? You know, what can we expect in the album? Is it more of what you've just produced, or is it something different?
Well, it's more like what we just did. We call it elegant R&B soul.
Definitely. So it'll be a variety of soul.
Yeah.
But it'll make you feel good.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I want to thank Chris Clay, Platinum Records and Sony also for believing in us. And, the great thing about indie artists now, which I'm sure Parks can agree, that we can be in control of our own thing and what we feel like doing, feel like writing, just like Clear Your Mind and how God gave that to him. You put it down how God gave it to you, and there, so we're allowed to really be creative more than ever now. So I thank God for the indie world. It's a beautiful thing.
Excellent. I hear that so often. And Parks, what do you say about that?
No, I agree with him totally. I think that Ed would tell you, when it wasn't popular to be independent, we tried to do it before. And it was just so hard trying to get it done because we didn't have the resources that we thought we needed to do it. It cost so much. But to get the control and to have say so in how your record's going to be marketed, the lyrical content, genre. And I just got so tired. I just want to just do good music.
Right on.
You put it where you want to put it. They
That's
want to typo it, stereotype you in a sense, tell you where it should go. And I think when you're just doing music from the heart and out of your creativity, then whatever genre it fall in, let it fall in there. But we don't want to be handcuffed with our creativity and what we want to deliver to people.
Oh,
and I think Uh, that's why we lost our diversity. You know, everything sounded like, you know, you hear one, you hear another. Back in the day, you didn't have that. You know, you had uh, the Four Tops didn't sound like the Temps. The Ohio
Yes.
Players didn't sound like Parliament Funkadelic. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? And then you
real
Teddy
talk.
didn't sound like David Ruffin. We knew
Right
who
on.
was who. Marvin was
Right.
Marvin. You know,
Yeah, the
Barry White was Barry
individuality.
White.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
no
So you
doubt. And
feel
so
that
now,
this sorry. Apologies, go on.
no, I
Sorry.
think you're right. I think that that's where you lose your diversity, is because a lot of people don't study the history of music, and they haven't tapped into who they are, so they can't present who they are. They
Right.
present someone else defining who they are.
Right.
And then that's where you get everybody that sounds alike. When you have a uniqueness and it's authenticated by your uniqueness, and your individuality comes out more when you're able to know who you are, mature as who you are, be creative with who you are. Now you're presenting something that's real to people and not copying what somebody else did. When you
Yeah.
hear all those that went before me, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, old Motown, I'm from Detroit. You know, then you take it up to the 80s with the 80s bands, Boys to Men, Jodeci, all these different groups that copied the sound that we had in the group Commission. And, you know, it was very inspiring, but at the same time that you copy, you create your own. You take elements from everybody to create your own, to have your own sound, but you pay tribute to those of the past. And that way,
Yeah.
nothing gets lost. You bring your history with you, and you put it to your present, and now you can introduce people to their future.
Yeah.
Wow. I love the way you phrased that. You've said some real sort of key words, especially when you say, you know, you mentioned the word handcuff. That gave me a really strong image about, you know, the freedom that you guys as indie artists now have to create. And
Right.
you are infusing your own spirit and essence into that, whilst, like you said, stepping on the shoulders of others. And you all have unique sounds. And it's really nice because I'm old school, excuse me, but even like now, sometimes even the way I see a lot of the youngsters dress and stuff, and there's no judgment, but it's almost like, you know, they all look the same wherever you go. And I think that individuality, that uniqueness has been lost. So when we have artists like yourselves who stand up and represent that uniqueness and that individuality and that diversity, you're still giving people hope. Yeah, we can be who we want to be. We don't need to be shackled by anyone or anything. And it's not just in music, it's in any field of life. And that's why what you guys do is so incredible, because you are the spokesperson for creativity, individuality, freedom,
Yes.
freedom, and fun and joy. And especially in these times, you know, I've always said I've never been in the box, and I have no intention of getting in the box now. I've always been out of the box. My granddaughter is the same. She's out of the box. We do some crazy stuff, but we don't care, because it's about living. And that's what you sort of allude to as well, Parks, having that freedom it's about living.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah, and I
existing.
think
Edward,
music is an
sorry.
expression of life. If you really look at it, it's an expression of life. Uh, most people, when you come from where I come from, uh, and have all these things where you take your journey, you get what I call soul expression, and all those experience, all those things of your childhood, from pain to violence to seeing all different types of lifestyles, and all those things wrapped up in one: the good, the bad, the ugly. It's all in it. And then the enlightenment of the inspiration of the soul is ignited. Once it's ignited, then the soul expression comes forth. Once we do that, now people begin to see and they can feel where you come from. And I think sometimes a person with not that experience, that hasn't been to that place, it's hard for them to process uh, everything that they're hearing in the music, because it's coming from a different place. You know, you write from your pain and you write from heartache, that's coming from a different place than somebody else that hasn't had their heart broken. You know, so that thing will rest on your voice, it'll rest in your music. Because when I was listening to and watching their video, I felt love. I felt
Yeah,
chemistry. I watched how they were together. You know, you could feel it through their music. You know, you could feel it
absolutely.
through their
We bless the
interaction
Lord on that
came
one.
through on the street. Yeah,
Amen.
and you can see it come through the screen, and that's what I think that's what they need to see. We need to see authenticity across the
Yes.
board, and people being able to identify, and that's why I try to do music that will present itself in a way to cause people to say, okay, why is he doing it that way? Why did he say it that way? What is it that I feel when he does that? And that way I'm educating the young, and so they can tap into who they are. And when they take their journey, now when they get on the other side of it, they'll be able to express it from the place of knowing where they are instead of while they're finding. And it's okay to express why you're trying to find it. But once you get there, you want to be able to leave something behind, a legacy for those that are following and those that are there, so you can guide them in a way like people guided us.
Right
I
on.
look at it all the time. I'm always talking about Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, Elder Barge, Babyface, all these incredible writers that I listen to, that I watched and watched how they did it. Studied why did he say it like that, and why do I feel a certain way when this music plays, when this track plays. And so when everything merges and is married together, your track is married with your lyrics, the lyric is married with your back, and they all become one, you get something special. And I like what my man said earlier. He's talking about that unity. If the unity is there in the music, we'll create unity among one another.
Amen.
Ooh, preach. I think we all need to be.
Amen.
And you know what's really nice about what you've said and about this conversation, and Edward, I'm going to bring you in as well. So, you're just on the outskirts. But this is, I feel this is rich content that people need to hear. Sometimes I speak like that. People sometimes said, Esther, you're deep. Yes, I can be. But I can be playful as well. But that depth is needed because in the depth of that's where you find the richness of living, essence of living, that creates wonderful relationships that we clearly see you both have. And then you can infuse that into your music. And music is a language of its own. It reaches those different places, whether you're happy, sad, down, whatever, it reaches places. And so you guys are, I would say, spokespeople.
Yes.
Messengers. And you clearly take it seriously in terms of the role that you've been given. But Edward,
yes, ma'am.
Not gonna forget you. You're sitting there in your nice yellow jumper. What do you have to say? You're not just on the byline, but so just give us a little take about who is Edward.
Well, I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a friend. I'm a man that loves God with everything in him.
Amen.
And I'm a man that respects music, period. And, just by way of background real quick, from a production and songwriter point of view, I'm a multiple Stellar Award winning producer and songwriter. I have a platinum certification and a gold certification. So I didn't just get into the music business or just start doing what I'm doing out of nowhere. It's been some proving ground. I've been in the industry almost 30 years. I've worked with Stewart 30 years. And, I've been instrumental in every project except for his first project. I was a major fan on his first project. His second album that came out in '96, my company, In Your Ear Promotion, promoted that record. His third project, Heart and Soul, which was 2004, I was the A&R person on that project and managed most of the artists, most of the musicians that played on it. And now he's a part of Eat Music Group, and I'm executive producing everything he's doing right now.
Wow. 30 years. I mean, you guys are throwing out some figures today, and I'm like, how? Maybe, but this is brilliant. And what's really nice is that you're still moving forward. And we've had a couple of messages about the importance. I mean, Ron Ledford talks about the space for indie artists. He also says indie artists are changing, going to change the industry in 2022.
No doubt.
And
you feel that movement. Excuse me. You feel that movement now. And thank you for creating this platform as well for indie artists. That's a blessing for us.
But it's important because I mean, yes, I do legends, and sometimes at the end of the month, I have indie artists on. I always have a legend. So I've had Charles Wright from the 103rd Street Rhythm Band, and he was on with some indie artists. And there's that sort of old school meeting new school. There's that harmonization, and it's so nice. I also had Gerald Alston from the Manhattans on with Babe Wright and a couple of other indie artists. Yeah. It was just so nice because there's that respect from both sides, all on the same platform. It was magic. And, you know, we can all learn from each other, you know, out of the mouth of babes. Yes. We can learn from each other and grow and create this incredible juxtaposition, I like that word, of everything. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play both of your Christmas tracks, because as I was saying before, you know, it's the Christmas tracks are important because it symbolizes that unity and that coming together. And so I'm going to play the Christmas track from Crutchfield and Crutchfield Jones, and also yourselves, Parks, because I think it's quite symbolic for these times as well. So ladies and gents, you're listening to On the Sofa with Esther, and now we're going to go over to Crutchfield Jones production.
Snow is slowly falling on the ground. Neighbors caroling, spreading joy around. I feel only sadness when I'm hearing songs of cheer. Christmas lost its melody 'cause you're not here. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. 'Cause you're not here with me. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Till you come back to me. All the lights are twinkling on the tree. So beautiful, red, silver, and green. The smell of fresh baked cookies and pine fill the air. Nothing feels like Christmas 'cause you're not here. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. 'Cause you're not here with me. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear another Christmas song. Don't wanna hear. Let your heart be light. From now on, your troubles will be out of sight. Yes, it will.
Okay, I just thought I'd play a snippet from those because there's a couple of messages in there, like I said, especially where I'm at this moment in time, that were quite poignant. So yes, so we've literally got about 5 minutes before the end of the show, ladies and gents, and it's been a real pleasure having you on. It's been a real pleasure with the conversation. So as we bow out, what is it that you can leave with the audience that would take them through the week, through the next few months, and also, Pass, if you can share what's coming up for you as well.
Oh, I just like to tell everyone, keep loving. Love is definitely stronger than hate, and love will bind us together, bring about that unity. Like I said, to spark that creativity. Let's change the world, because that's what to do it. And what I have coming up is you can look for something in February. We'll start putting little things out there for February for the upcoming thing. I can't tell you what it is.
Just bagging that carrot in it. I can see it. That big, what thing? Put that little thing out there. Dangle, dangle, dangle.
You're going to love it. I can tell you this. It's going to deal with complimenting our African queens. It's also going to deal with we're trying to come the opposite of misogyny, and what we're trying to do here. And then I got another thing coming following it. So it's going to be followed. It's going to be a single. It's going to be followed with a video, and it's going to be followed with an EP. Right. So they'll have those three things in succession. But that's just a preview of what it is.
But we'll be supporting you too. We'll be supporting you too, brother. For sure.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. It's my pleasure to meet you all too. Enjoy sharing the stage with you all. And I want to also thank you for providing, this platform, because if we don't work together, none of us can get it done. You help us.
That's right. That's
right. And you helping us, this helps us get the message out. And I like what he said earlier. It's not just music, it's a movement. It's a movement.
Yeah.
And we feel it. I feel it now. I feel it. We feel it. It is a movement. And I just want to say that for the other indie artists too, we just stay true to ourselves. And I always tell my dad, I say, boy, that should have been a scripture in the Bible, what Shakespeare stated in Beowulf, to thy own self be true. And I just think that this is going to, I feel the movement. I just feel it in the air. I feel the spirit too. I'm happy, excited too about this. Yeah.
And you know what's really interesting? This week, because after this, I'm going to be doing a tribute to the late Sonny Turner from the Platters, who died this week. So that's going to be streaming after this show. And he was such a legend. The way you guys speak, he spoke very similar. He was always happy. He was always upbeat, because he was on that path of his true calling, and there was nothing more that Sonny wanted to do and enjoy doing than singing and performing. And I used to call him and check on him, because I used to see them as elders. So I'm not just going to interview you and then just keep moving. I like to contact, and every time he'd be like, "Hi, Esther," and he was so bubbly. And he goes, "I've just come back from treatment, and you know what? I'm looking to get into doing some performances." He was just always on that level, right. And we can learn so much, and I love this platform because I learn so much from yourselves, and it speaks into my world a lot of times, because sometimes, you trust me, just to get this show done, sometimes it's just like, but as they say, you go to plan A, plan B, the show must go on, and I've gone to the Vulcan thing, like I said. So I'd like to say thank you all very much, wishing you all the best. And then it'd be nice to connect with you in about 3 to 6 months' time to see where you're at. And, let's just keep championing the voices of indie artists, but also with messages like how you guys are doing, because you're not changing the music industry, but also you are speaking authenticity, which is important, into the lives of people. That's what we need to hear. Yeah, I can go preach about this, but time is short. So
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So thank you very much, and all the best, and all the best with both of your new singles. And we'll be in touch. And thank you, Edward, for linking me.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Ed, too.
And pleasure to meet you, bro, and your wife.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, now after this show as well, you'll be able to watch this show again live on YouTube and on Facebook. But now we're going to go over to the tribute to Sonny Turner, and we've got 3 tributes. One's from Bobby Wilson, the son of Jackie Wilson. One is from Bernadette Bascom, and the other tribute is from John Sly Wilson from Sly, Slick, and Wicked. So see you on the other side. Tune in to Soul TV literally in about 10 minutes. Thank you both, and thank you all.
God bless everybody. Thank
all right,
you.
Bless you. God bless you.
Love.
Thank you.
Love. Stay up.
All right.
Bye-bye.